What's up, guys? Today I want to talk to you a little bit about my favorite marketing channel, which happens to be cold calling, and it's really going to be good. So I'm going to go ahead and tell you to stay around, okay? Watch the whole thing so you can implement one of the best marketing strategies to find off-market property consistently at huge discounts. Let's get into it. What's up, guys? It's your boy Sawan Belcher. I'm a full-time real estate investor, not just a wholesaler, not just a rehabber, not just a landlord. I do all things in real estate, so that way we can maximize, right? No lead left behind, so we can maximize every single deal that comes across our plate, okay? At this point in our company, we hold several houses. We have multiple properties listed on the MLS. We've seen some bad deals. We've seen a lot of great deals. We've been up on some deals, we've been down on some deals, and today I wanted to express to you how we found, how we found over and closed on over 300 deals, okay? This method is definitely one of the most common ones today. Now, maybe 10 years ago, not so much, but with the way times are, by far, cold calling is one of the easiest marketing methods that are out there. Now, first of all, I want to go over just what cold calling is, just to break it down from a basic level. Essentially, cold calling is calling someone who doesn't know who you are. You honestly don't know who they are, but you're reaching out to them to connect with them and say, hey, are you interested in this? If I did this, would you? Okay? And at that point, I call that a record. So you have to call out to different records and to a target audience in order to make them aware of you so you can then generate a lead. That's the whole basis of this business, is to reaching out to people who don't know you, okay? The more people you reach out to, the more people who know you, right? And the more people you reach out to, the more leads you will get, so that way you can make offers to those leads. Now, don't think that just because you have a list of some sort, that's a lead. Nope, that's a record. We want to be able to cold call them, ask them the question, and then be able to generate them and turn them into some kind of hot, cold, or warm lead. In order to make this productive, you're going to need to reach out to a particular niche group of people. Now, we're a real estate investor, so we're going to have to reach out to people who own some kind of real estate. Now, this might take you being a little creative, sitting down and thinking how you want to operate your business, or just thinking about who you want to talk to or who you feel comfortable talking to. Because of the task of reaching out to someone random, it's not as easy as it sounds, okay? It takes a lot of skill, takes a lot of patience, and some testing for you to get this down perfect and down packed. I suggest you start out with one niche, okay? This is when it comes down to the audience. Who are we gonna talk to, okay? We need to find motivated sellers in order to catch them at the time where they need to sell and not necessarily want to sell. So who do you want to focus on? What kind of business do you want to have? And who is the perfect person, that you need to be reaching out to, okay? Now, for me right now, we are a pre-foreclosure specialist at this point, okay? That's our list that's one of our main lists that we're targeting right now. Do we have other lists that we target? For sure. But we are mainly focusing on pre-foreclosures because that's what we are in the market, okay? In the last 3 years, banks couldn't foreclose. So, over time, the pipelines of foreclosures got backed up, and now that's exploding all over the economy. So we happen to be a specialist in foreclosure. So when you when you determine that this is going to be your one list, you'll start to put things in place that make you a specialist and not just a general. Let me explain to you. So yesterday, as I'm talking to this guy about taking over, his mortgage, because that's what we're doing with these pre-foreclosure leads, is we're buying their houses subject to. When I'm talking to this guy yesterday, and he's telling me his scenario about how he wants to sell before his before his foreclosure court date, I started presenting ourselves as, well, great, we have a program, okay, that our company specializes in stopping REOs. Matter of fact, instead of sending him our Buy Try at Homes website, I sent him our other website that stop REOs, that focuses on pre-foreclosures. Because when you become a specialist, you now have special programs. You now have special incentives. You now focus on the foreclosure process. My homework assignment for one of my acquisition guys last week was hey man, I need you to go out and I need you to search what North Carolina, foreclosure process is. I'm training him. He's been with us maybe for like a month now. And so I said, hey, I need you to go find out what the North Carolina foreclosure process is. And the reason why I made that his homework assignment is because when he's on the phone and he's talking to a seller, they're explaining a situation on the phone and it starts to sound like foreclosure. He can then label it and then tell them what's gonna happen next. He can then start to educate them. And when you start to educate a seller on a particular topic, they now see you as the authority. Okay, they now see you as the authority, and now you're the specialist that can help them. So you got to pick your list. You got to pick your list. Now you can pull lists for free. Most of those free lists come from the courthouse. You can also draw for dollars using the Deal Machine app. I'll leave a link below to that. Or you can just simply buy a list if you want the biggest and the baddest list. You can definitely buy some lists from some data aggregators out there for sure. Okay. Now with cold calling, since once you get your list, you're gonna need to be able to call them, right? So it's like most people think once they go buy a list because they just paid this amount of money that the phone numbers come with it. In most cases, that's not the case. Okay. Most of the time, a list is separate than actually getting the phone number. Okay, and to make this short, the free way we can get phone numbers is through TruePeopleSearch.com. It's literally just a free website. Do you have to run through more phone numbers in order to actually catch the seller? Of course. Can you actually reach the seller with those phone numbers? Of course. You can pay, which is the way I prefer to do it, because I can take 3,000, a list of records that's 3,000, send it over to one company, needtoskip.com, and I can get back my phone numbers, the next day. So I like doing that. If you have a specialty kind of list and you need to skip manually one at a time, you can also use Need to Skip for that, or you can use one of my favorite companies, which I can't mention to you because I leave that exclusive to my Real Estate Made Easy course. I'll leave that link below as well, just in case you'd like to, get some exclusive stuff. It's honestly just hard to give away everything for free because, at the end of the day, we get paid to outperform the competition. And that's what it is. If you want to outperform the competition, or you can also pull records manually as well to get phone numbers. Now, once you got those phone numbers, you need to dial out, okay? This seems like common sense, but I promise it's not. Now you need to dial out. You got a couple ways that you can dial out. You can dial out for free using your good old, iPhone or cell phone. But I don't like that method because after you run up a certain amount of phone calls on your personal phone number, Verizon, T-Mobile, AT&T, they'll start recognizing your phone number as spam, so people will start picking up on that you're cold calling, and now your personal phone number, will be pretty much burnt. You'll look like a telemarketer to everyone, which will decrease the amount of people who actually answer the phone for you, which means that'll decrease the amount of people who pick up, which will decrease your offers, which means you'll make less money than others who are doing it better. Okay, so how can we do it better? What's another way to dial out? We can dial out using Google Voice. That's another free way. So if you have a Gmail, you can go to, it's like 9 little dots, and then you go over to the phone section. They'll give you a phone number. So now I like this because you don't have to actually use your personal phone line number. So Google Voice will give you a number and they will redirect anybody who calls that number to your cell phone. So you get the benefit of not giving away your personal phone number, but you can still receive numbers right here and it's free, okay? Or you can go a little further and you can be able to purchase phone numbers like a telemarketing company, like a marketing company, which is what you want. And you can purchase several phone numbers per week, per day, per month, how much ever you want to market. And we can use places like CallRail.com. Okay, we can use CallRail.com to actually call out and text message our sellers. Now, the biggest and the best one that I prefer is ZenCall. Okay, it's ZenCall. ZenCall is like a multi-line dialer, so I can call out to 2 or 3 people at a time. When someone answers, boom, they can talk to me or my cold caller. If the other one is not gonna answer, the other person answers at the same time, they can instantly go into my IVR system where they can select 1 to get a cash offer or select 0 to be removed from list. And I got the perfect business set up at that point, okay? And then lastly is, what do we say to these people and how many people do I actually need to talk to in order to get my first deal? Now, cold calling is essential to your business, in my opinion, in 2022, because everyone these days are walking around with cell phone devices, and it's almost mandatory to have a cell phone. And, people are, they feel almost loyal to their cell phone, that they always have it on them. So you're more likely to get in contact with the homeowners, and it's cheap. Okay, I can drop a RVM for 3 cents. You know what I'm saying? I can call people for $1 or $2 a phone call. And so for someone who doesn't have a lot of money to get started in the business, cold calling is going to be one of the best options that you have to reach out to motivated sellers. Now, I will say, I'm gonna just, shameless plug, I'm gonna tell you to go ahead and join the Real Estate Made Easy course, because if this stuff was helpful to you, the Real Estate Made Easy course is gonna absolutely dominate it for you. After making over 500,000 calls, I'm just saying, I know a little bit about cold calling, and I think is a great way for new real estate investors to either buy their first house, their next house, or even create some kind of deal finding company and just blow it up and literally make as much money as you want in a 30-day period of time, like we talk about here in the YouTube channel, on the YouTube channel. So if you guys like this video, definitely go ahead and subscribe, join the family. The goals of making these videos right here on YouTube is for you to actually learn something, okay? To inspire you, to give you knowledge, to inspire you, and to be an example that you can buy a house, you can own your own neighborhood, okay? So if this was helpful, drop a flame in the comments below, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace.